comes from Dr. Dolittle. Thank you, Dr. Dolittle. Not his real name.
No, really?
Surprisingly. Father Simon, Brother Matt, Sister Katie Susie, I'd like to beg forgiveness for the following incident that took place at a well-known zoo in the late 1980s. I hope that's sufficiently vague enough for you. It's a tale with a warning, a very clear warning, which we will get to. At the time, Father Simon, I was a student working in the stores department of the aforementioned zoo. One of my jobs was to replenish the gas canisters in the numerous kiosks scattered throughout the zoo, which sold ice creams, ice lollies, sweets and hot dogs. This was to provide them with all the power that they would need to cook, freeze and so on. I realise you probably don't need to be told what gas canisters are for, but just in case, I thought I'd mention it.
Quite right.
This particular day, I received a phone call from Jasmine to say that her hot dog machine had run out of gas.
Okay.
And as it was a Sunday and a lovely summer's day, could I come quickly, as she had a big queue of hungry people and didn't want to lose a lot of sales. Now, I was always going to get there very quickly because, unbeknownst to Jasmine, I had a secret crush on her and always used any excuse to go to her kiosk to check out how she was.
Check out how she was.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
She looked, Father Simon and team, to my fevered teenage mind, somewhere between Olivia Newton-John in Grease, the leathered version, and Kelly McGillis in Top Gun. I mean, she was amazing and fragrant. The drill was that the stores team would fit the gas canister, and it was up to the person in the kiosk to turn the gas on and light it using a match. Dr. Dolittle then says, remember, this was the 80s. Although, it occurs to me that's still the way you would
light gas.
Most likely.
Unfortunately, that day, for me, all zoo procedures went out the window. I was so pleased to see Jasmine. I grinned, I told her some jokes, tried to look cool, even if I was in my regulation stores department brown T-shirt and hat. Oh, well. I mentioned some Miami Vice episodes I'd seen recently. And
it is the 80s.
Weren't Crockett and Tubbs the coolest?
Yeah.
I was working very hard here, Father Simon, for no obvious reward, but I carried on regardless. Surely eventually she would see me for the sensitive, misunderstood intellectual that I thought I might be. Anyway, I was so wrapped up in this performance that I inadvertently switched on the gas. We had a further quick chat about the stone roses, I think, and then I left. So, Jasmine then went to turn on the gas, she thought, and struck a match to light the burner. There had obviously been a bit of build-up of gas during the 5 minutes that the gas had been leaking, and there was a small blowback, causing Jasmine to badly singe her fringe. Singe the fringe! Her eyebrows were gone, and she lost most of her eyelashes.
Oh my gosh.
Just, in fact, like Itch in the beginning of that book.
That book, of course.
What I hadn't known and would have been crestfallen to discover was that Jasmine had recently become engaged, and that evening her in-laws-to-be were coming for a meal at her parents' so that the four of them could meet along with Jasmine and her doubtless rich and handsome, but also shallow and vain and intellectually weak fiancé.
Yeah.
Sure.
I didn't know any of this. But I do need to seek forgiveness for my act of foolishness. This was not a deliberate act to throw a spanner in the works for Jasmine's engagement meal, which I swear I knew nothing about at all. I thought she still looked lovely, even with singed hair, no eyelashes, and a slight smell of burning emitting from her clothes. Can I also seek forgiveness from the zoo, who had to put all sorts of health and safety measures and training in place following my misdemeanor.
Oh, all sorts of it, yeah.
And also the warning, therefore, that I mentioned is, I think, obvious. Always, everybody, be very careful with gas and matches. It could have been a whole lot worse for her, but I believe that Jasmine had an aura that protected her from the worst that nature had to offer on that day. An aura that preserved her beauty forever. Okay, I think you've just lost it. Just lost it slightly at the end there. Thank you very much indeed, says Dr. Dolittle. This has been on my conscience for the last 33 years. Okay, well, could have ended very badly, but it was an innocent mistake. But the voice of responsibility now is, of course, Sister Katie Susie.
Yeah, I know that it wasn't a deliberate act, but it's similar to yesterday's, isn't it? That could have been so bad, and it still was so bad and so careless. Poor Jasmine, I would have just been heartbroken if that happened to me and felt very insecure afterwards. So, Dr. Dolittle, you should have taken more care.
Yes.
You are not forgiven.
I think that's probably right. But let's see what Brother Matthew makes.
I mean, honest mistake. Which of us could honestly say that we have never, forgotten forgotten about the gas
Turning on
and
the gas.
and on the hot dog stall. A pity that the aura didn't save her eyelashes. What a shame that is. But you know, in a funny way, didn't
Yes.
it help advance health and safety at the zoo by making sure that they would be able to sort that out in the future? So in a way, didn't Dr.
Yeah.
Dolittle do something for all of us? I'm going to forgive.